This episode of Gripping Golf is brought to you by Sycamore Ridge and Senior View. We're about to shoot a shot. All right, welcome to another exciting episode of Gripping Golf Podcast. Why do I always say it's exciting?
Because it is.
It is exciting. It's exciting to me.
Riveting.
So I hope it's exciting to you.
You're an excitable
Pete.
person.
Just full of energy.
Enjoyable.
And then I just crash at like 10 o'clock.
You put it all out.
Shut it down.
10 o'clock.
Yeah,
No,
it's like
started.
10:30. And then I get up super early. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I got
you
to
are
change
in
my
the race,
lifestyle.
right?
Yeah, I got to change this lifestyle here.
Yeah. I was up at 5:30 for a softball tournament, and I'm wondering, how do people do this? And as I'm leaving the neighborhood,
You
at
weren't
10
up
after
there.
6,
That is not you.
Today. That was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
Still.
but as I was driving through the neighborhood, there's other cars and people out jogging.
Yeah.
I'm like, who are these
Yogging.
psychopaths?
They were
Psychopaths.
yogging.
Like,
It's a new
who
fad.
gets up this early to go exercise?
I
or
did.
do
Up that
anything
early.
for that
Before
matter.
I saw you, I had walked the dogs 2 miles, done 30 minutes on the Peloton, and then taken a delivery from Nebraska Furniture Mart. All before 8:30 in the
And see,
morning.
that's
Right.
productivity.
Today?
Yes,
I didn't
So
know
I got
Nebraska
out of
delivered that
bed.
early.
they did. I asked them when they called. I was like, wait a second. It's Sunday. You're going to come in? They're like, yep.
Are you going to rob me?
Technically,
This
that's
is Nebraska
that's
Furniture Mart.
yeah, that's the that's their Saturday last run.
Is
Yeah.
Sunday morning?
Sunday morning.
Yeah,
Sunday
it's
morning
like,
at
dang it, we didn't
7:45.
make it.
By the time you would come by, I had showered and eaten 2 pieces of cinnamon toast.
I slept till 10:30.
You're a big cinnamon fan.
Yeah.
Big Texas.
Yeah, cinnamon's good.
Cinnamon's good.
Yeah, the new tree bark.
Next on the stage, cinnamon.
It's delicious.
the big Texas. I can remember that. That is your go-to snack at the turn.
It is.
Sometimes,
That's
yeah.
true.
Kinda like a hot
when I
dog.
need that quick
Yeah.
surge of energy,
Yeah.
that sugar rush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snickers are out for you.
Before we get too far
Yeah.
in, we should mention Nelson Hill.
Hill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have some seriously good buttery soft leather, as good as cinnamon.
As good.
If not
Just-
better.
Probably
cinnamon
better.
toast.
Probably
It's
better.
better.
Yeah.
It's
I would
better.
say
It's kind of.
Yeah,
I
it's
saw
better.
cinnamon, kind of the cinnamon color.
It
Your
is,
scorecard
yeah.
holder. Yeah, dark cinnamon color.
Yeah.
It's
very
caramel.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yours is caramel.
Caramel.
Mine's just brown.
Or is it caramel?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd say it. It's
Tomato,
whatever I feel like in the
tomato.
moment
Stunning.
is how I say it. Yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah, we
love
need
it.
to mention them because they have some really good buttery soft leathery
Yeah.
products, based out of Kansas City, which is where we do this podcast, which is a fantastic city full of culture. If you want to move here, just do it. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're also looking for 10% off your order at Nelson Hill, go ahead and do that too and use the
Gripping
promo
Golf.
code Gripping Golf.
Golf,
All
all
one
one
word,
word.
all caps lock. We've got a fan coming in the door right now. Fist bump. Another
Men's League
subscriber.
match play winner. Drew
Oh yeah,
Essinger.
match play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Nice.
But we're doing the episodes a little bit different. We're separating out the news and us playing to now we're just getting into this putting. Is what
Yeah.
we're talking about
Just
today.
The
Dave,
meat and taters today.
Meat and taters
It's
and
just
putting.
putting.
we don't need no
All
appetizers.
about putting.
No appetizers.
We need to get to this entree.
If,
Right.
Boy, and talk
Yeah.
about a full
Entree-vous.
plate.
Entree.
Yeah, it is a full plate.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Of putting.
Well, you know this is John's favorite part of the
We've
game.
got people that love putting, and then we've got me. Yeah.
So are you leading this then?
No, I'll end it with what I do every year.
Throw the putter away.
No. You want me to start with it? I'll open it.
Ugly
No.
is not
Yeah,
going anywhere.
no, ugly's not going anywhere. It's the only thing that keeps me alive. But I write the USGA asking
Oh,
to have
that's
this
right.
be a game of darts and just
Yeah.
take putting out of it.
Have you literally done that every year?
I've done it twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
No
And
response.
no response?
No response. I thought if I moved to
Jeez.
email, letters usually carry a little bit more weight than an email, but an
Yeah.
email might get a response.
So what if we, using
Well,
a term
just
that
your
you
mail
used
something.
earlier, is bifurcate the game so only John doesn't have to putt.
Yes.
There we
I
go.
love that idea.
Yeah.
I'd like
When-
just a game of
But
darts.
we have to add
we'll be
one
three-putt.
stroke to your score every
yeah,
hole.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally fine with that. Seems
One
equitable.
stroke to a score. But if he hits it
What-
in regulation,
how about,
though,
how about
Yeah, that's
one
not good.
stroke for every 2 feet away from the hole?
No.
Mm.
No. But I can get behind that kind of approach. But that this is avoiding putting.
Or you could just
Why
get
do you hate
better at
putting
it.
so
Yeah,
much?
It's just
Yeah.
it's boring.
It is.
I'm not good at it.
It's like
You're good at it.
I'm not good. Well, I'm not as good at it as I should be.
Now you might be onto something that you don't like it because then you just don't think about it. You just get up there and do it.
I guess maybe.
Yeah.
But I know that there's a couple people here that love putting.
I don't love putting.
You don't?
No.
Really?
No.
I just want to get better at it.
I love putting.
Pete loves putting, and I know Miller's damn good at it, so he's got to like it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's the guy who walks. I'm going to make this putt.
Exactly, and then he
makes it.
does.
So you don't.
That only happens sometimes.
Yeah,
It happens more frequently than you think.
yeah.
Well,
It sucks.
Yeah.
Billy's still
suck.
thinking back to a couple weeks ago where
On
Daggers?
14.
yeah,
You dropped
Yeah.
a dagger?
where I said I was going to make a putt. It was like an
Oh.
18-footer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Left
And
to
I
right.
and then I missed my 6-footer
yeah,
for birdie,
because I rattled you.
which I basically did yesterday
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Jeez.
14, put it super close, and then
Well, I'm gonna let my shirt do the talking.
Amen
3
to
putts
that
suck.
shirt.
3 putting
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
If you're not watching the podcast, which you can tune into YouTube and see what Dave's wearing.
The YouTubes.
Yeah.
YouTubes.
All right. Well, let's talk about putting.
Let's do it.
All right. I got a bunch of questions here. They're not in any particular order, but the reason why I think it's such an interesting topic is we've got 4 of us here. There's going to be 4 completely different philosophies on how to read putts, how to hit your
Yep.
putts,
Yeah.
how to even hold the putter,
One
whether or
second.
not you should even putt at all.
Yeah,
Exactly.
one second. If people are listening and they want to send us some topics or whatnot, join the Gripping Golf Podcast group and comment and put a post in there.
On
And we'll
face-
see.
on the
Yeah.
On
Facebook.
Yes.
Facebook,
Yeah.
and get in there. And if you want to, some topics, because we've had some friends of ours that have emailed us or texted us about some ideas.
Reached out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So go ahead and do that. Join
Yeah.
that group.
Yeah.
Good
So,
idea.
I mean, we talked about with Clayton, Billy and I talked about with Clayton just the different types of putters and how they can make a difference and stuff like that. So maybe we'll get into that a little bit too here with you guys. But let's just start big picture and maybe just go around and just let's talk about your process once you get to the green. Your ball's on the green. You got to putt. Take us through your process. Let's start with our expert,
Yeah, start with
dead
Pete.
eye on the
Yeah.
greens, Peter Hansen.
I'm usually putting for double bogey, and they all go in for double bogey.
That means
Well, there you go. The pressure's off at that point, right? Yeah.
That's why he's so good.
So miss every green
exactly.
by several shots and then
It's a
have no
strategy.
pressure.
It's a
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's a
It
lifestyle.
is. You got to live it.
Exactly.
Fullest.
You know, it sounds like somebody that has iron covers.
I just got some.
What?
congratulations.
Oh my god!
And we don't
Yes.
mean that in a derogatory manner. Either.
don't,
Like,
yeah.
just
Yeah.
you got a fresh new look to the bag.
Yeah.
Fresh,
Man,
yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah.
They're being worked over right now by some friends.
I think you're gonna set a new trend. I really do. I think.
I
Be
hope
the
you
first
do.
one I
Yeah.
ever have set, probably.
No,
Let's
I think
be
you've set
honest.
many a trends.
Yeah.
All right, so how do I approach putting when I get there? Let's go back to that
Take
question.
us through your routine.
First, you remove one of your 14 head covers
One of the 14.
off of your putter.
but I just realized if you have to make a chip or anything, you got an extra head cover.
Yeah,
to
extra head cover.
Yeah.
Are you going to take it off at the cart or are you going to take it
No.
off at the shot?
Yeah. What?
I-
Talk about this process.
Getting on the card. The only time I take off the putter head cover is if I'm on the green and I'm going to putt, and it's the only
Excellent.
club I'm taking. Right.
Okay.
If I'm chipping or whatever, I will leave the putter head cover on, so I don't damage it.
It's interesting. I do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Except-
you're carrying it that milled face, like you
Yeah.
can ting it and put.
Don't
want to
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid, it's already hard enough.
Do you? This is sorry. I know this is your time to shine right now, but like.
Yeah.
Billy's just gonna interrupt.
I this is part of my process. Whatever I do on the first hole and how well I putt is what I continue doing on every hole. So if I take my putter
Interesting.
cover off and I place it in my bag, like the nose of the head cover into the bag, I will do that on
So
every
you're
hole.
superstitious.
Super superstitious. Superstitious.
Yes.
It's a lot of S's.
Say it faster.
It's very hard to talk.
I that's a good process for you.
Yeah.
Typically,
You know what?
Typically, I'm
That's
not on the
very
green on the
good
first
manager
hole.
speak,
If I
gonna go ahead.
if I put it on the cooler, I'll put it on the cooler the rest of the round. And if I
How
putt,
have we not noticed this?
I don't know.
I'm
How
gonna-
did-
I'm
you know,
gonna
thanks.
start-
Well, we
Thanks,
don't. I don't
Pete.
ride
I'm
with you
busy
a whole
worrying
lot.
That's
about
true.
myself.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna start moving the head cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll probably help.
Like you're making
Absolutely.
putts like lights out and we're playing against each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
I'm throwing it in the woods.
I don't know. Did you leave it on the
Have you
last
guys
hole?
seen my head cover?
No,
You guys
it's
seen my
not.
head cover?
You guys, it was a swag.
I just got that.
How quickly we.
But we digress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Pete. The floor is yours.
So
For at
getting-
least 20 seconds.
At least 20 seconds. It's been a long time since I've played a course not at Sycamore, right? We play here all the time. So
Every weekend.
So I know the greens. I've played, 1,000 rounds out here. So it's a little bit different here because kind of had an expectation of where your ball is, where the pin is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not spending a whole lot of time while I'm coming up to it to mark the ball to kind of see where the slopes are. If we're playing on a course that I've played before or not played before, that's what you're looking at. Like, where's that high spot? Like, is there anything is there water somewhere? Just trying to get an understanding of where that general break's going to be.
Why are you looking for the water for the people that don't know how to?
I mean, typically, where the water is,
where the water runs off,
or if there's water on a course,
the river runs through it.
It's typically going to break towards that. We talked on previous podcasts where you played the Silver Course. Out there. The mountains there, right?
Yeah.
The
Eisenhower Club.
The mountains are going to, make that putt move away from them.
Yep.
It's the higher ground. And so that's what I'm trying to do when I walk up, is just get a lay of what the green looks like, see where the natural breaks are. We'll mark the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Typically just one of the poker chips is what I will mark it with. Make sure it's
specifically clean. If it's in someone's line, you'll
use
that
bigger
big,
the better.
bulky.
I use manhole covers,
especially when money is on the line.
Yeah.
Putt around it, man.
Yeah. Sorry.
Bring my Flavor Flav clock.
Yeah.
And just set it down.
Don't mind me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this in your way? Let me know which way I need to move it.
Yeah. It's going to have to go. Yeah. How many putter heads do I need to move this?
And after that, especially here, since we have a general idea of where it is, you're really trying to just confirm what you already know is what I do.
Right.
If it's a place that I'm not super familiar with, or I would even say somewhat like a competition round or a money round that we're really trying to make sure we try to win.
Yeah.
I will try to come around and look from the opposite side of the hole. I think that is one of the most underrated features that happens. Like, you see so much more, like, especially if you don't know which way a putt's going to break. You're like, this looks like it's pretty straight. Maybe a little right edge or something. And then you go around the other side. You're like, that's going to break a lot more than I thought. You just don't see it. Get up there, and then I don't use any alignment on the ball. I did for years, and it takes too long, and typically you were wrong. So what I try to do is...
But what if you were right?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I didn't make any more putts than I do now.
Okay. Science.
So I put the ball down and just want to see, like, either all white, or if I happen to have, like, a colored ball, I don't want to see any lettering.
Wow.
In my view. And
Why,
then
will you start reading it?
No, after I've read it. So, like,
no. I mean, will you start reading the lettering? Like,
no, it's just a distraction.
Tailor made.
Yeah, just
right.
pure whites.
Yeah.
Pro V1.
Yeah. Oh.
No, it's like usually like Pinnacle.
It's
a side pouch.
It's because you lost all the ones that said Peter
Double
Hansen.
bogey, right? Yeah.
Yes.
There are at least 3 dozen scattered around the course from this year. And then my putters, they have, so I had a red X, and it had 3 alignment lines on the back. And I'm just picking out that spot probably 4 feet in front of my ball that the line is on.
Do you want to roll it over?
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to line my putter up with, so I know I'm square. The new putter that has it doesn't really have that many lines, but it's got a big slot in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll line that up, pick that spot, and then try to hit it. And I am a dyer in the cup, so I'm never trying to say 18 inches past. I want it to be like 2 rolls and in. So that's my process. And for the most part, I'm pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying I don't 3-putt, but
We all 3-putt.
You're a good putter.
I would say the 3 putts come from speed more than line for me.
Okay.
Because I don't hit it hard enough, and it might have something to do with not having the right weights in the putter.
Possibly.
Because again,
we'll fix that.
Procrastination. Just haven't bought any.
You left out one part. You said you slapped the booty, Boda?
No, that's not a. I did last.
Yes.
Good luck. You gotta
Buddha. Yeah, slap the Buddha. Slap the Buddha. Putt goes
whose
in.
booty
That's
are
what
you talking about?
Like, wait, what were you guys doing when you were out on
never
the
slapped
course?
my
Well,
booty.
all the random he just said he has a slot in the back. He likes a slot in the back.
Yeah.
He dyes it in the hole. There's lots of sexual innuendos that you were saying.
It's risky golf.
I mean, I don't think dying in a hole is a sexual innuendo.
Anyway, maybe it's just me.
Yeah,
maybe it's just me.
it's you.
Yeah, exactly.
Your wife's like, oh my God.
God,
Yeah.
he's so embarrassing.
Yeah,
It's
it's out
so
there now.
embarrassing.
Wrong with this guy.
Just trying to figure out when I'll be home. So, Billy, take us through your process after you've placed your head cover in a random spot.
Right.
For 18 holes.
Well, it's not a random spot. It's
random when it starts.
Once I find it's random until I find the groove,
Right.
and then it's like, okay, that's what I'm going to repeat every time. So, very
Hang on,
similar.
Just 1 second.
Yeah.
For anybody watching on YouTube,
Yeah.
you're not seeing double. That was Pete's twin brother.
That was
just
Oh
walked
yeah,
by.
that was.
brother.
Yeah, they walked
And
by.
Doug.
And Doug.
Pete's
Yes.
still here.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so not very different than Pete in terms of, once I'm on the green from the fairway, which is I still putt for double bogey a lot too, Pete, so you're not alone there. I'm starting to think about, I feel like I come back from where do I want to be on my shot? So I'm going, okay, do I want to be below the hole, above the hole, which typically you want to be below the hole, like that 5 o'clock position, I believe.
So this is coming into the green.
This is before I hit my second shot.
I mean, I don't know where my ball's going, so I don't plan that.
So
we're talking about once you're on the green.
I know that, but I'm already strategically thinking about where I want to putt from
Sure.
prior to that. And so
All the best players do.
Yeah, especially the ones that shoot 83 and 88s on.
You beat me.
He
91 and
he missed
100.
out on putter or on
I
putt
know.
covers.
Yeah,
true.
Dang it. Not really. I could go buy some.
Yeah,
I could get some.
But it's not
Yeah.
like a world-renowned, prize that you've won. then.
Very true. Right. I don't have that going for me.
Yeah.
But once I'm on the green, I do walk up. I'm kind of thinking about where I'm at. Am I uphill, downhill? I'll look at the putt from the side and try to get a lay of the land if it's up or down. And I say that out loud a lot of times. I talk to myself quite a bit. Then I get behind the ball. I look at it, kind of just assess. I feel like I can see the line of the putt. I don't really ever think, it was 6 inches, 7 inches or whatnot. I just am looking at that line. And then I place my ball down. I use the alignment aid when I'm putting, and I put it down and point it at the direction I want to go. And then I align my feet to that same. I kind of approach it, put my club down. Then I put my club down first. Sorry, I said that backwards. I put my club down first, align that to the alignment aid on the ball, and then I'll bring my body square to that. And then I will make a couple practice swings, feel the distance I want to do, and I say to myself a lot of times before I putt, I say just trust it, and I hit it at that point.
I was gonna say
I don't try to really overcomplicate it.
I don't
all.
take any practice putt swings ever.
I do to just get the feel. I do just I take 2, and I typically only do 2. Sometimes if I'm really far away from the hole, I might do 3, and it's really just back and forth. It's just a speed thing. I'm just literally thinking speed at that
trying
point.
to loosen up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And listening to, I know I've talked about all the books that I listen to, but I'm deep into Bob Rotella of the game is golf is a game of confidence. I've read I'm now on What Champions Think to Win, and now I'm into the short game one, and it's all about taking your subconscious out of it, or I'm sorry, your conscious mind out of it, and only relying on your subconscious. So
I need that for chipping because that
there you go. That's it. That's what it is. So really now, as I know, I feel like I'm doing a lot of the right things, but I'm not making putts right now, and so. Really what I'm doing with my putt-out mat in my basement is just ingraining the physical feeling of putting, going through that routine, setting that routine, and just so that when I'm playing, it's not a thought in the world. Just get up there, know what I want to do, execute it, see it, do it.
So what you're telling me is you bought a putting mat and didn't say you bought it on our last episode?
I must not have. I did.
Sure.
I bought a gray one. Yeah.
kidding.
And I know, what is funny? We talked about in the review, the lines. Very true.
Yeah.
There is, you can only putt so many times with it until there's a definitive line on that thing that
And
you're
you
just
gotta run
putting
the
through.
Roomba over.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So it's still a great product. That's not a knock.
Absolutely.
On it, but it's you gotta. I kind of
We
get.
got to make sure we tell the people that that's what we observe.
That's what it is. So if you're
Honest
wanting to know,
reviews.
if you're wanting honest, straightforward, pure,
It gets
pure,
gets a little
Yeah.
road rash.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So, but it's good.
It easily wipes out.
I
Vacuums
have
over again.
I have now. I don't know how many putts I have struck on it, and I have the trainer too.
Mm-hmm.
I've got it to stop 4 or 5 times in that
Nice.
thing.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. It's really fun when you get it. You're like, whoa!
Was
When
this
it
the one that
stops,
goes
do you
up?
run around the house just like
Dre's like, what are you doing?
Come look, I made another
you
one.
going full 8-footers?
dogs are like, Dad's going crazy.
No, I'm doing it from the 5 foot.
Okay.
I think that's where I've
Sure.
doing it from.
Well,
Mine's, I don't think mine's 8 feet long.
It should be.
Okay. I don't know.
And that's interesting that you say that, and we can get into it a little bit more. But one of the things that that Dr. Bob talks about is on the long putts. Excuse me. You're just wanting to get a feel for the speed. You're not necessarily telling yourself it's got to go in. But once you get into that 4 or 5 foot area, that's where you need to be rock solid and have the confidence, and it's going to go in.
That's what I'm just trying to get, that the putter motion, the putter motion. So it's not a thought in the world when I get out there. It's just, where do I want to hit it, see it, do it. That's where I'm at.
I mean, I look at any putt, and there have been very few putts, maybe under 5, that I've ever thought, like, no way I can make this.
Everything's makeable.
Oh yeah,
everything.
I definitely think everything is makeable. I think it's just keeping your mind in the right place.
Yeah,
especially if it's a.
Well, you're not going to be upset if you miss a 30-footer, but if you miss a 4-footer, that's gonna that could potentially derail your round.
Realistic expectations. I mean, everything's makeable, but you do kind of want to go. I don't know if I miss it. I
think you should try to make everything, though.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I like.
Never
a lot
not
of people
trying to make it.
on leg putts might think like, oh, I want to get in a 3-foot circle. Like, I'm trying to make it. That is what is in my head.
Yeah.
But it's a 4-inch circle.
Yeah, I also
there's a 4-inch circle,
and that's where it's got to go.
Yep.
Yeah. And I agree with that. And I think for me, I do think it's, though, setting the expectation, like you said, John, of not being upset if you don't make it, but being in a vicinity of the hole that you can make the next one. Yeah. So trying to make it, but not go 15 feet past would be ideal.
So I think one question that I would want everybody to answer, and I'll just start with Billy, is
I can go for the next 20 minutes.
When you look at the line, are you trying to visualize the line? Are you visualizing the ball rolling on the line and going in?
I see a line. So I don't know how to describe it.
It's a string on the ground.
Basically, it's like it's almost like it gets it's almost like I can see a highlighted route,
like
the ball is
whatever
go.
the CBS does. Where
what color is it?
That putt.
White. Yeah. I'm serious. Okay.
The putt-o-fastic line. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I mean that's what I try to see. Like,
and it bridges open.
Yeah, absolutely.
The ball go down that line. And that helps me understand where the break is. And
pretty soon, at some point, we're going to be able to be wearing glasses that shows us the line, and then we'll hit a putt and we'll know if it's going to go in 10 feet.
Like Caddyshack.
Prior.
Yeah, I was going to say that's Caddyshack.
Yeah.
But you got to buy the bag with it. Right?
Go.
I don't see a line.
I see a line.
I pick out my line, and I don't visualize line. I just say that's my line. I'm going to hit it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
John?
I actually...
Do you even realize you're on the green?
I actually...
He's just trying to be the first one into the cart.
Honestly, sometimes it does feel that way, but I honestly, my putting got a lot better, and I actually practiced putting with a string. I would read the putt
on the putting green?
On the practice green. I actually went out and I brought string out.
No, but you...
Oh, like a chalk line?
No, he would lay it down in the shape.
Yes, in the shape, in the break. I would read it, and I'd put the line down, and I'd hit the putt. I'm like, well, I didn't read that right. So, that's how I condition my brain, and that's what I see. I see a line, and I see the line go. I see the string go past the cup a couple feet.
Wow.
And then that's just, I want the ball to just ride that line, and the cup get in the way. That's all I want.
Yeah.
And that's why Billy saw me get flustered, because I left 8 birdie putts short the last time we played together by a foot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is obnoxious, because I'm seeing the string, but it just doesn't get to the end of the
Yeah,
string.
you weren't hitting. You said that. You go, I'm not hitting my line.
Yeah.
I'm not hitting my line.
Yeah. So
The speed was probably just the difference in the two putters.
Yeah, it definitely.
It's a pretty dramatic difference to go from a mallet to a
really
blade
mishit
style.
a blade putter.
Yeah.
You
cannot mishit the UGG.
Right.
You could hit the UGG off the logo on the toe, and it will
still go.
Be perfect.
And for those that didn't listen to the last episode, shame on you, for one.
Yes.
But two, John on Saturday took out the ugly and went with his Scotty Cameron stainless.
She's a beaut.
Mm-hmm.
But
She's a pretty putter.
I looked down at it and went, I don't know where this is going to go.
Well,
Yeah.
I felt that way with that Laguna, the Scotty Cameron Laguna that I had, which I still love, and it's still one of the prettiest putters.
It is a really pretty putter.
Well, Doug now owns it.
Yeah.
I gave it to him because it was bad. I think I 4-putted with
along
it
with your
on
irons and your club covers, because he took everything.
Yeah, pretty much. But you can miss-hit those. And
you can miss-hit them, and they're
it's
dead.
not even, I don't even think it's that. It's not even if you don't strike it pure.
Yeah.
It's not going to roll far enough
fish.
to get there.
Yeah.
Well, the recommendation then is not to miss-hit it.
Exactly.
But John, take us through your routine on
So
the green.
I will tell you, when I know you specified when you get to the green. If I'm playing a new course and I can see the pin on the green, I do make note of, because when you're in the fairway, you get a really good view of the green. So I do look at it and kind of go, okay, it's kind of, it's leaning right to left. Mm-hmm. And then when I'm up there, I tried my best to remember whatever the hell it was doing. But when I get to the cart, I literally just pull the putter out, walk down there. I survey the green as I'm walking down there, mark it, give it one last look. I don't go to the other side unless I'm playing for money or competition. And then I find my string line and I putt it.
I don't think I've ever seen you go on the other side of
I do every once in a while, but it's got to mean something. Like I want to make sure I'm not missing something.
So when you play golf with us, it doesn't mean anything?
It's pointless.
Okay.
I know I'm going to give somebody $15 when it's over with.
I was going to say, and he doesn't play for any more than $15.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the fact that he's actually gambling at this point.
Give
is
it to somebody.
Yeah.
It literally is a big step in his life.
It is a big step, yes.
And it's not welching.
We should have pressed.
It's corresponded. It's corresponded well with my dropping handicap. It's just a glorious thing.
Oh, it's been great.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, putting for me, I may pay attention to grain. Like if I'm in Florida or something and it's Bermuda, I might look at the grain.
Bermuda, you have to.
Good point.
Here, like they get shiny. It kind of matters, but it doesn't matter. I do pay attention where the water runs off.
Yeah.
I look for the drainage spots, but all in all, that's just I look down and I go, there's the string. Mm-hmm. And I hit it, and if it didn't go in, I go, maybe the next string will go in.
I'll go hit a wedge.
Yeah. Let's chip. Let's chip.
Go.
How can I make this putt a chip? That's usually what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes maybe that's better, right?
What am I going to say in my USGA letter this year?
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking.
He wants to bring back stymie golf so he
Probably.
can use wedge on the greens.
Work on some calligraphy.
Yes.
There we go.
So really captures their eye.
Yeah.
Well, that's really interesting because that's clearly three different philosophies.
What's yours?
Mine is probably most similar to Billy's.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm not surveying the green from the fairway. I'm trying to just get on the green, similar to Pete in that regard. But once I get there, usually I'm too busy BSing and joking around and maybe trying to talk myself off.
There is a lack of focus sometimes in our golf. Yeah.
But once I get to my ball, I put down my manhole cover because I can't see it otherwise if I do decide to go read one from the other side. But I don't visualize a line. What I'm looking at specifically is I'll look at the cup and I'll try to see if I can discern any type of tilt near the cup.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
From time to time, I will go look at it from the side because my gyroscope or whatever is not always right. And sometimes downhill feels uphill and uphill feels downhill. And from time to time, you'll see me blow one 15 feet past because I thought it was an uphill putt and it was actually downhill. So I'll start. Sometimes I'll look off to the side.
Hills.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
That's another funny story, though. But I mean, I try not to be too technical with it. I'm with Pete. I look at a blank ball. The few times I try to line up, I would get line locked, or I would find out that I was just way offline with my line. Yeah. And so it never
it's
worked.
Better
for
to
me.
be a surprise right after you hit it.
My brother-in-law, he asks, "Do you just use the force when you're putting?" I'm like, basically. that's basically it. I just just step up and what I think I see is what I hit. And
thank you very little.
Right, but like Billy, I'll take a few practice swipes. I don't stop it at a specific number. I'll take as many practice swipes as I need to feel like I've got the speed right for that particular putt. So sometimes it could be 1, sometimes it could be up to 5 or 6. Just really depends.
I mean, you are a good leg putter.
You're really good.
And from where
I don't make my putts, so they're all lags.
You should start making.
Well, I would say from when we started
23
golfing,
lags today.
Yes, exactly.
I'm a good lag putter from 8 feet.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
I think we're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sycamore Reed is great.
They're great. They take care of us.
They really do.
The staff at the Bunker Bar and Grill is top notch.
Fantastic.
No, what I was going to say is from the time we started playing, I would say that you didn't have a method to your putting. The first,
I didn't have a clue when I was putting.
Right, but you have made strides, and I would say out of probably all of us, like you are consistently one of the best putters we have, and you because you make a lot.
You make a lot of putts,
like 25 footers. You're like, oh damn, that went in.
Yeah.
Like, okay, glad you're on my team.
Brain busters when they.
I'm coming for you.
When it's going for sure. And when it's not, then the frustration starts to build in. But I mean, just like Pete said, I don't know how many putters I went through at the beginning trying to find one that I could get to work. And I tried from the smallest of the small to the Odyssey tri-ball. And if anybody has seen that,
I forgot about that.
Yes,
It was a beast.
It was
Four
a
balls.
massive putter.
Yeah.
3 balls.
It had.
I know, but there were 3 balls on it, but there was another ball, so you were looking at 4 balls.
Yeah.
Right.
It had girth.
Yeah. And that was, and I've talked about the friend that John and I would golf with that used to play on the mini tours, and he goes, man, a putter like that would be distracting to me, and I never really thought about it. And once he said that, I realized my eyes are watching the putter and not the ball. That's bad news for anybody that's listening. Don't watch the putter, watch the ball.
Just make your swing.
Right. And so when I started, I think, getting better at golfing is when I actually found a putter that I truly fell in love with.
Yeah.
And that was my first Scotty, the Studio Design 1.5, which I still own.
Yeah.
Despite all the turnover in my putter rack.
Well, when your first love, you just don't want to let it go.
Right, exactly. And it was at that point that I told myself, I'm like, I'm going to get better at putting. And that's when I invested time and effort into actually doing it. And that's where I think
Makes a difference.
it makes a huge difference.
Huge difference, yeah.
You love it, you're going to make it.
Right, exactly. So I had another question. It was line or no line on the ball. Pete and I have already made our stance to Billy
Blank
or John.
ball.
Blank ball.
Blank ball.
Billy?
Billy's
No,
on
I use the alignment aid on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't draw my own line on it, though.
Right.
I just
Weirdo.
use it, yeah.
because you tried it. And it was
Yeah,
all-
it's all, yeah.
this is
Well, I
not
don't know
gonna
where
be-
this is going. Yeah. No, and I don't have one of those cool little things that you put the ball in and you can draw a straight
I have
line.
one. Would you like
Yeah.
to borrow it?
No, I'm good because I just use the alignment aid. That's what they're there for.
Do you ever use the 3-line thing that Callaway puts on their balls?
No.
Is that too much alignment?
I have used it.
Triple track, that's what
the
it's
triple
called.
track. I've never purchased triple track golf balls, but
We'll
I
get you
have.
some.
Yeah, I have found them on the golf course, and I have used them. It didn't bother me. It's kind of nice, but I do think being open-minded with anything of your game, not being specific to anything, and so one of those things, maybe it is a distraction for me because I guarantee, I know that I'm putting that alignment aid down on the ball, and then I'm aligning my putter to that, and then I'm like, well, is my putter pointed at it? Is it not pointed at it? And so maybe it might be better to, because when I practice on the putting green, there's no alignment aid that I use. I just look and hit, and I make a lot of putts on the putting green.
Right.
So
Yeah, and it's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why I got rid of the line is I wasn't convinced that my putter was lined up to the line. And
Right.
for people who know me and for my wife that's listening, I'll walk around the house, and if I see a picture frame slightly askew, I'm going to fix it. And if my putter line isn't lined up with my ball line, it drives me insane. And then I start mentally screwing myself, and I can't do it. That's why I have
I
to
hope
have
your
a
wife's
putter.
Well, I
at
don't
home
walk
right now,
around.
just moving every
Yeah.
She doesn't have to. When the
probably-
kids run around the house, everything just moves.
yeah.
So
Well, I don't walk around the house aligning every picture. I'll look and go, that's not straight. Back to the TV.
I can't help it. It's just
Yeah, Dave couldn't go to sleep at night. You're like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's gotta
Did I
be
move that
fixed.
picture?
It needs finale.
Everything has its place. Everything
Yeah.
needs to be nicely in its place.
That is not how I live my life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. So okay.
You're more willy-nilly, Billy.
I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
it's time for golf.
This is loose Billy today.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, just relaxed.
Oh,
So let's talk a little
my
bit
feet
more
up.
about the strategy of actually reading the green itself. I know Pete's talked about
God.
looking at the water. John's mentioned the grain. We've talked about mountains. Is there anything else specific that you take into account while you're reading your putt? Take your line out of the equation. Like, what else are you looking at? Are there specific things with the landscape or anything like that? That
Typically
what
in golf-
specifically?
specifically in golf architecture, they don't typically make opposites. So they take their highs and they make them higher, and they take their lows and they make them lower. So they don't put a green. They don't put a green going the opposite direction of what the natural landscape of the ground is. So typically, if you know the whole hole is going right to left, you're probably not going to get on the green and have a left to right putt. You may at certain points of it, but not overall. If you're having a left or right putt at that point, you're probably putting up a hill.
Yeah.
So there's little things like that I think people, that's just basic architecture right there of make your highs higher and your lows lower. So the whole course goes towards water or goes away from mountains, a lot of your putts are going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think people forget that. I think they forget the fact that they could learn a lot from just taking in the entire landscape of what's going on around, and then bring that down to the micro level of being like, what is right here in front of me? So
I would say to your question, I probably pay attention, and I'm trying to recall if I actually pay attention. When we were talking about practice strokes, I'm like, I don't even know if I do that.
No,
I don't know if you do either.
You put your putter
You don't take a
down
practice stroke with your full swing either.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
why do it with your putter?
But when I look at a putt, sometimes I am looking like if it's a 30-foot putt, where's the next putt better from? Past the cup, leaving it a little short, little right, little left.
Where do you want your miss to be?
Yeah, where do you want the miss to be? So maybe to a certain extent, I look at it that way. If you got a pin on a crest, you want to, of course, get it there. But is it going to run away?
Yeah.
So maybe that.
I wouldn't say this happens on every hole, but I think one of the things that tends to happen is you'll read a putt, you think you have it, you stand over the putt, and you feel it in your feet. You're like, well, this is totally wrong. Like, I don't know what it's going to do now, but so that's one thing that I think happens to me. I don't look at a putt from the side because honestly, I don't know what the hell is.
Yeah,
not helping
down,
me
left, right.
Anyway, like
I'm confused from here too. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm confused, but sideways.
Exactly. But
what am I looking at?
Somebody put another variable in my algebra equation. It's D. The
And
answer is always D.
I don't walk the line either.
No.
I mean,
Johnny Cash.
I am no Johnny Cash, but you can feel it. Where if you think it's going to go right to left, you get up there and you're like, no. My feet are telling me otherwise. That's probably the only other thing I would take into consideration.
You have very large feet, so it covers a lot of the surface area.
They're not long. They're wide.
No.
So, but that was the next question I was going to ask. Do you guys use any of your other senses? Like, do you feel it out with your feet? I mean, we're talking all this stuff that we're using our eyes.
Smell?
But I mean, like, are you walking your line to try to?
I don't specifically walk my line, but I definitely am using my other senses. I mean, I definitely smell the green.
Yeah.
And
Do you taste it?
Like real close?
Lick it.
I've seen you. I've seen you lick the grain. Is that
no? He licks his divot tool after he fixes. His
Yeah.
pitch line.
This one's moist.
They aerated 3 weeks ago.
So it's going to be a little bit slower. The green's a little more damp.
I'm trying to think if like
It's a sandy loam. It's going to be a little slower.
I don't think I walk. I don't think I think I just look at it. I probably
No,
I might be missing stuff.
I feel, I might, if I go to take the pin out, I'm feeling that I'm walking up a hill. I'm feeling that I'm walking down a hill, but I'm not necessarily doing that to be intentionally discovering information about my putt. It's just me walking around the green feeling things.
Okay.
So wind is another thing. I mean, it doesn't happen very often. Yeah. If you're on fast green.
There's several holes out here that are exposed.
Yeah, and you need to pay
to.
attention to that for sure. You definitely have to understand what it's specifically. For me, if it's uphill, I think to myself a lot of times that as the ball slows down, it's going to turn more. And so just using all those senses that you have. So, and trust yourself, though. You can easily talk yourself out of a putt. And I think you have to stay in to be decisive. Yeah. Make that decision, hit it.
Commit.
Hold that thought for a second there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me write that down so I don't forget it. None of us do this here, right? So obviously that kind of tells us what we think about it. But when you see somebody plumb bobbing,
Bob, I was wondering if that was coming
Mitch does it. Mitch Hoffman.
what do you feel?
Plumb
What do you
bobs.
think about
Oh, he does.
Yeah. What
Nah,
do you think
he
about
has
every
been
hole.
doing
and
it.
Bob does it.
Yeah.
Bob
Bob McKinney?
Bob McKinney, he
Oh,
does
yeah.
it. And he explained
And
that-
they're both
and Bob,
pretty damn good
Bob
putters.
tried to explain it to me and it didn't resonate.
Yeah, I can't
but
do it.
He does
Is it
and
is it
he's
to
a
see
damn good
which
putter.
side it breaks on, right? And
I have
how
no
much?
idea.
I have no idea how the science works.
Yeah.
I've
See,
not
the
read
interesting
I
thing
don't
about
read
it
the
is
papers.
I think I
Still
used
enough.
to do it just
It's
to
a
think I
tapered
was
shaft.
cool. Yeah.
it's a tapered shaft, so you're not getting a straight line to begin
Right.
with.
Right.
Nope.
But I guess if
John
if
gets
you're
out his
holding
string.
it up, if you're
Ruler,
holding it up
yardstick.
against the horizon of the green, I guess
Yeah.
you could see if it's tilting one way or another.
You don't see
but-
pros doing it either.
Not anymore.
There used to be.
You would see the older guys.
Yeah, it used to be.
But none of
in the 80s, everybody was plumb bobbing a putt, right?
Yeah. But it's not the 80s anymore.
Right.
It's 40 years ago.
Does Ben Crenshaw
40 years ago
plumb bob?
No,
I have no
but
idea.
the lefty that shot 59 did. He did it out at the senior tour. Not Al Geiberger. No, he's a lefty. Bob something. Tall.
At Loch Lloyd?
At Loch Lloyd.
Oh,
he was a plumb bobber.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I was like, what's that guy doing? I remember being like 8. I'm like, that's awesome.
I still can't do it.
And Dad's like, that doesn't
need
do
a lesson.
anything. I'm like, if it does, like, I would love for people that plumb bob that are listening to this, let us know what it does for you because I want to know how it works, and I want to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Does Doug?
What?
Does Doug? I've seen Doug try to plumb bob.
Does he plumb bob? I don't know.
Well, just because you're trying it doesn't mean you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be the first to tell you
Yeah.
he's not sure.
There's
It'll
lots
be
of
like
things
when
in life that
I
are that
use
way.
iron covers, I'm not going to be. I'm not sure I'll know how to put them
teach
on.
you.
But yeah,
I'll
thank
teach
you.
you.
You're not trying to be sexy with the iron covers.
No,
You
they're
just
functional.
are.
I can't be sexy.
Back
Look at
chatter.
Pete compared to
Right,
me.
of
There's
course.
just no way.
It's not
Yeah.
easy keeping this physique up.
I love it.
It is easy, actually. You don't have to do anything.
Slap
but
the
eat.
Buddha, butt goes in.
I know from experience.
I did say that, didn't I?
You did, yes.
Okay, so you got to slap the
That
Buddha
was
belly
during
to
the
make your
tournament.
putts go in.
Yeah.
That's
Day I
another
played
philosophy.
Yeah. I was like, dang, is that the secret? If you would have made that putt, I was going to slap
Billy's
your
gonna
belly.
run over and go,
I was going to slap your belly and make my
Make
putt.
everything.
But you got to get
Yeah.
it right on the belly button so it makes a sound.
No, that's disgusting. Yeah.
Is there a sound effect on this board?
There might be. I don't know.
Let's see.
No, that was a drum.
That wasn't it.
All right.
Probably closer to that.
That's- yeah.
Probably.
Something
Wawa
else would be making that
trombone.
noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever dabbled with aim point whatsoever?
No.
Is that the one, the laser?
The fingers.
No, it's the fingers where you stand
Stand
on your
on it.
line and look at it with the fingers.
Adam Scott.
Yeah, the Adam Scott thing.
no.
And Brooks has started dabbling with it. He said he gets his read and then he uses the aim point to
I think there's
verify.
I think there's something to it of feeling the ground, but I've never set out on a course to understand how the fingers. I know it's like 2 fingers is a certain amount of break, 3 fingers is a
Yeah,
certain
it's like
amount of break.
degrees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand the logic behind it, but I've never like
I have
gone
to go
in
read
depth
about this because I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
It sounds like just the same thing with the plumb bob.
I think with anything with it, it's really just a mechanism and it's a form of being, I'll say the word again, decisive and committing
Yeah.
to it. And it's just a way for you to in your head go, okay, that's what it's going to do. I'm going to do that. Burp.
It's surveying.
Yeah.
It's surveying,
100%.
which is, really funny, not to segue away from this topic.
No,
back
it's
to
great.
Endpoint. My neighbors just started golfing like 4 years ago, and they do flat work. They do, they own a company that's going to put in driveways at hospitals, parking lots, stuff like that. We went golfing. Both of them put lights out.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
Spencer, my neighbor, like the first time we golfed, I'm like, you made like 10-foot putts. He goes, yeah, the hill, it's right there.
Yeah, I could see
I'm
it.
like, oh, you do this every day.
Yeah.
Did he get out his laser level thing? Oh,
It was,
okay.
I mean, the pace was never quite right because they golf once a year.
Yeah.
But they were always on the right line. They
Yeah.
always knew the break. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this is fascinating. Like, maybe I ought to go run some heavy equipment out on some
Yeah.
parking lot
Please
somewhere.
don't.
Isn't it fascinating when you go, like, you play with somebody
Yeah.
for the first time and, like, they get on the green, or if you go to putt or something like that, and they hit it, like, 400 times too hard?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's just fascinating to me.
That's the Flint Hill story. That's what Pete's brother did with lunch on the line.
Yeah.
He knocked his putt off the green
I told him it was
by like
downhill.
50 feet.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
a 20-foot putt.
He hit a 20-foot putt 60 feet
Oh, wow.
90
into the fairway.
Do you have, like, a shot of adrenaline all of a
It
sudden?
cracked.
I don't
I
know.
think the second that came off I don't
Yeah.
I don't know the exact words
The
I
caddy
used, but I was just like,
laughing. The caddy was
What
like,
was
"What are
that?
you doing?"
the caddy was laughing. So
Yeah, he
Wow.
did laugh.
And so were John and I.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
We were
just
sitting there
fantastic.
thinking we got lunch in the back.
Yeah.
but we didn't know it was going to be like that.
Dumbfounded on how bad he hit that.
That was
putt.
a full
Can you imagine the
backswing.
telecast on
It was a
that? The
full
broadcasters were like, here is Hansen from 20 feet.
Yeah.
He's lining up.
And then you just hear this.
It was like,
And then the
it was
ball
like a
just
driver
rockets.
on the range.
Wow.
The ball just rockets by the cup.
Not
Whoa.
sure what happened there, Jim,
Yeah.
but it's a little far.
But it was with his Scotty Futura, so it was like an
Yes.
aluminum
Oh,
bat
dang.
at the
Those
College
things
World
made the-
Series.
Yes, yes. Yes. Yeah.
So it was a high pitched crack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, that putter. That'll bring you back.
Yeah. I love that putter.
But yeah, back to aim point. Nope. Never knew what it works, how it works, what it
Yeah.
does.
I think it's probably a little too technical for me. And I say that as the guy that said that he straightens picture frames and stuff like that. But I can't fill my brain with too many technical things like that, or else I'll just...
Because then you still got to go back and golf.
My processor will break down at that point. So
I think we're all standard grippers too. Are you getting to that?
I've used
I am actually
right.
going to get to that.
Okay,
so,
sorry.
Yeah, just jumping ahead here. I didn't even send you the
I
questions.
know, it's crazy.
It's fantastic,
Yeah.
right? So
Telepathy.
so
Gripping
the
golf
the
there.
grips on the putter. Who's standard putter? Who does something unconventional? Who 10 fingers it? How are you guys gripping your putter?
I mean, I have done both. I've done a claw and my standard. I usually actually overlap a little bit, like 2 fingers with my right hand to my left. So I'm not a 10 finger. I'm like probably 8. But I have not used the claw in, I don't know, 4 or 5
But why
years.
did you switch to the claw grip? What was your logic behind that?
Was it after watching your brother hit that putt?
It was well before, actually.
It was well.
All right. Yeah.
So don't have the full use of my right hand. And a lot of times, you put your hand down there, and for me, it just doesn't feel comfortable. Like, if you ever watch, like, I will have to re-grip clubs several times sometimes to get the feel on that.
Yeah.
And I just, when I went to the claws, I just couldn't get any feel. I didn't feel like I was making any putts or, swiping at it. And it was just, there's a bunch of things going on. And so, like, well, I have nothing to lose at this point. So I went to the claw, and actually I putted pretty well with it because you just putting those 2 fingers on and really, then let your left hand dominate that swing. And, but, I wouldn't say I made way more putts with it. I would think my tempo, my speed was better and would roll the putts a little bit better, but I prefer the standard grip.
Yeah.
And you guys grip standard, right?
I'm just an interlock everything.
You interlock your grip?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's
I'm
interesting.
a reverse overlap.
Reverse overlap. Explain.
Standard overlap is pinky over the index finger. I do index finger over the pinky.
Interesting.
Yep.
For what reason?
Just to be a contrarian?
No, just someone said to me, I don't remember how I started doing it. They were like, you should try reverse overlap. And so I did, and I love it. I've never gone back.
Really?
But that's just for putting.
Just for putting. I still overlap.
You're an overlapper?
Overlapper when I swing,
So, yeah.
but I'm a reverse overlapper when I putt.
Interlocker.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I interlock on my full swing, but I do an overlap on my putting grip.
Yeah, overlap.
Wow. You're an interlocker?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Maybe that's why I don't spin it into greens.
Probably. Yeah.
Well, I'm an interlocker.
That's the swing flaw.
You're an interlocker?
I'm an interlocker.
Wow. I used to be an interlocker, and I went to overlap.
I tried
Really?
overlap on
I've
the full
tried-
swing, and I
I've
couldn't do
tried
it. But
Yeah.
Overlap?
Yeah.
I can't go back. I can't do
think-
anything. It
but I
feels
feel-
like I'm putting 10 fingers on the club if I go to interlock.
I felt like if I don't interlock, and why I went away from the overlap was, again, my right hand would get a little bit out of control.
Yeah.
And it was disconnected.
Your right hand was disconnected?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like it was
gotcha.
not doing what it should have been doing. But when I interlock on full swings,
Wow.
like it really kind of comes together. It ties
Oh.
as one mechanism.
What about size of, sorry, are you going to get to size of grip?
Go ahead.
Size of grip? Standard.
Is there one right there?
Yeah, I use a Super Stroke 1.0.
That's what that is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I use the pistol, the one that's fat at the end.
Yeah.
No,
That
it's a
thing
pistol.
Pistolero.
Pistolero, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what I got.
Yeah. That's
Pistolero?
a
And
solid one.
you just do that because of the comfort factor?
Yeah, it's super comfortable.
Do you know there's a science behind it?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's to get that left hand, the hand going more towards the hole.
Really?
Yeah. That's the
I
science.
didn't know
That's
that.
the science.
Because
behind
that was
Well,
one of the
that's
things when I
Figured
did
it was a way to sell more
Physics.
grips.
my putter switch is the Cameron has the old pin grip on it, and it's not fatter
and
on the other
it
end.
feels
The one you
too
used
tiny.
yesterday?
Yeah.
microscopic.
The
Like
first-
I'm holding onto a
Yes.
pencil.
Yeah, because I've been using the Super Stroke 1.0. I don't like a big fat putter grip.
Me neither.
And there's science behind that too. It's to take your wrists out of the stroke,
Right.
so you're not slapping at it. The 1.0 for me is just oversized enough that you still can feel the club head. But anything smaller than that anymore just feels tiny.
Yeah.
Like I tried a ping blackout grip on one of my putters. I'm like, what am I holding here? It's like it's like you're holding on to just the shaft.
Yeah, it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
and that might have
I
been
think it
part
feels
of my
good.
putting was.
The I don't know. I enjoy that.
The smaller grip?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't tried the smaller ones, but I think my brother had.
Your brother
Actually,
was
that's
using
not
the
a
jumbo.
that's not a 1.0. That's a tour. I don't know what the difference is.
It is the Pistol GT Tour 1.0.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's got for those watching, it's got the pistol taper.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I picked it. Yeah.
But this is more flat on top than what I typically use.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, I don't like it with too much flatness on the top.
Yeah.
I think I just wanted to try it. Yeah.
Really?
I just wanted to try it.
I like the flat. I mean,
I grew up putting with just a standard old Golf Pride
the Pro
Tour
only.
Velvet.
yeah.
Like just a round grip. So
what?
yeah, I never had any of these fancy things.
Dang.
Too
City
much money.
folk had.
Yeah.
Culture.
John would not spend the money for it.
Well, I was like 10.
Yeah, he didn't have money.
You still had money at that point.
Probably.
I know you did.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
How much does the look of the putter affect your putting?
Oh,
100%.
1,000%.
Yeah. It's totally looking down at the right putter makes
Looks good, feels
with
good.
somebody that has the ugly in their bag, that just is a weird
putter.
statement
It's
to hear.
a beautiful putter.
It's beautiful to him. We're all different.
We
We
were
all have
talking
our
about
preferences.
putters, like peruse your clubs lost and found. You might find your dream
Yeah.
putter.
I found my dream wedge in the lost and found.
I found a
Really?
sketchy
Yeah, Dr.
rangefinder
Knockdown.
in
Yeah.
the Lost and
Oh,
Found.
man.
Do you
Off
own
about
anything
10
from the
yards.
lost and found?
No.
Well,
You're not trying hard enough.
It is
you're not.
apparently. Well, I'm hoping to find a head cover
Yeah.
for a putter.
So he's got a putter.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
got an 80-degree wedge, and he's got a rangefinder. So you need to find something.
I need to
man.
find something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll find
We'll-
when
we'll
on next
rummage.
week's segment of did Dave buy something?
Did
Ellie
he
get something
dumpster
from the
dive
lost
or
and
something?
Did Dave find something? Yeah.
So I know it's very commonly known that I change putters frequently, and for me that's just kind of like
Yeah, you have a rack full of putters.
yeah, and that's a lot of that is just got to find the right tool for the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
A carpenter's got several different hammers, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Pete, you used to use your Red X for as long as I've known you.
I mean, I
Recently
bought it, I think,
switched.
in 06.
Yeah. How often are you guys even considering changing putters?
I never, actually, honestly, would have thought I would have. Because I've bought some. You know, I had that Laguna, but again, the blade, going from a mallet to a blade is, I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like going from a 1-iron to a hybrid. It's
Yeah.
like, whoa, this is totally different.
You don't try hard enough.
Exactly.
switch
I don't
frequently
have any.
enough.
Yeah, I don't have any issues changing.
Yeah.
But I don't change very often.
Right.
So I think I'd used the same putter for 14 years. And then change to the Scotty that I have now, and then now I have another Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have all 3 old putters still?
Yes.
Yeah.
The only putter that I don't have that I got rid of that I purchased
Cleveland's
was
Bullseye.
I know I bought a TaylorMade Spider limited edition. It was red, and I liked it for a while, but I had no confidence over short putts with it.
Really?
Yeah, just couldn't something blocking me.
Rory putted with that. I think he struggled with it too.
Yeah, it was the Jason Day. It was
okay.
Jason Day's putter.
I remember when he was using that.
Yeah, and I really liked it at first, and then I just really couldn't get the ball to go in the hole from like 4 feet. I was like, "What's going on here?"
That's not
so,
good.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
So yeah, let's pull on that string a little bit because it also goes back to that thought I told you to hold on to, where you're standing over the putt and you got to trust it, right?
Yeah.
So, where do you get that trust from, and what happens when you lose that trust?
Repetition. Well, I think it's a couple things. I think you need to be trusting your stroke. You need to have faith that you're going to make the right stroke, but then you also have to trust in your read. So it's twofold for me: is see it, hit it, make it. But it's repetition, it's practice. You can develop that early in life. Like if you were in a college golfer, you could develop that routine and stick to that routine. That's going to gain you confidence. If you don't have that and you're an amateur golfer, you need to spend some time developing that subconscious part of your brain that will ingrain that muscle memory, even though muscles don't have memory, but so that when you're in a pressure situation, you just do it.
Yeah.
There's no thought. And so
I will go back to your weird thing where you're putting
putter my putter cover.
It absolutely helps. I know, and I'll have to track this as next year. But like you make a good putt on one of the first couple holes, and like that
You
gives
putt
you
well.
so much confidence.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to last week. I made how long was that putt on too? For bogey. Because
yeah.
I hit one. I mean, it was probably 45 feet.
Yeah.
And it just went right in. And then I felt like the rest of the day,
the lights turn green.
Make anything.
I'm going to make it.
It's like following an
everything.
ambulance across the street.
Yeah.
You're like, every light's green. We're going to make this thing.
Oh.
Right.
I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
But
Get in behind them and chase them. You'll get there quick.
Yeah.
Target's 2
like
minutes
a blocker.
away.
Yeah, blocker.
But the flip side, the other side of that question is when you lose it, like, I mean, I've lost it, and you've tried a lot of different things just to get there. And still sticking, I still try to stick to the routine that I've built up when I putt. But, I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
You know, when you 3-putt and you're like, I don't know where the hell this is going to go, but
I think you can still, for me, I think in that point it would be stick to your routine, but maybe the greens are faster than you thought. The greens, you know, it was more downhill than you thought or whatnot. Like, I think continuing the same stroke, but maybe analyzing a little bit of like, okay, I don't have the speed yet. That's kind of where my brain goes. Yeah. Of it's not necessarily the stroke, because you can be consistent with that.
Yeah.
So
I've never gotten to a point in all the years I've played golf where like I felt like I was hopeless in putting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Like I might be having an off day or whatnot, but I would come back and do it again. And I think that's
hopeless.
where, I think that's where you were saying this. Like if you don't have that confidence, or that even if you have a routine and it is not working, I just have never personally got there with my putter.
Yeah.
I've been there I'm there with my wedges and almost every other club, the other 13 clubs in my bag.
And if you want to work on your putting over these winter months that are coming up, there's 3 reviews out there.
Yeah.
That you can
There's
listen to.
2 currently. A third
There's 2
coming.
currently. There's a third coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe by the time you hear this, there'll be the third.
Yes.
It should be
Yeah.
next week.
nice.
John, what about you with the confidence?
You know, my other parts of my game are going to bleed into this. Is that I always feel like my game, even if I'm struggling, it's just the next round away from coming back. So I don't know if I let it really get in my head. But for putting, like, if the greens are fast, the process I use I can adjust it. I can flatten the string out on fast greens or make more of an arc on slow greens. So it's like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't have dips in my putting.
Yeah.
Maybe I do.
You're consistent.
I think
Well, I think one of the things you do really well, and you disguise it well, is you go into every green and you're not putting high expectations.
No, absolutely not. No.
so true.
You walk on every green expecting that you're going to 3-putt, and you're happy when you 1 or 2-putt.
Yeah, exactly.
You like reverse
On for birdie.
psychology
That's
yourself.
exactly
Wow.
what it is, because
Yeah.
the thing is, if you sit over a putt and you go, I got to make this,
Yeah.
you're going to be in the crapper the whole day.
Yeah.
And if you go into it going, if I blow it 5 feet by and make a 3-putt here, who cares?
Yeah.
And then you get up and hit it.
You're playing with no fear.
Yeah, that's
You're
just it.
putting
You
with
don't
no
ever
fear.
want to. You don't want
Yeah.
to play against somebody who's got nothing to lose. So I kind of treat the whole game like I got nothing to lose. And
It should be noted, John, and a lot of the feedback that I get from people that I've talked to about the podcast want to play golf more like you.
really,
Yeah.
They
I don't know
they
how
love
to-
your mental attitude
I don't
towards
know
it.
how to coach people to it
Just
because
not care,
the game
right?
is so
Lessons with John.
The game is so it can
Crack a beer.
become so analytical.
You're right.
That you'll paralyze yourself with it.
Absolutely.
And if you just step up and if you hit a shot and look at a golf course and picture the driving range, you'll shave 8 strokes off your score.
That's true.
You know, if you just hit the shots that you hit on the driveway and see it putts like you do on the putting green or on the putting clock, it is something that is attainable. I don't know how to get people there though.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
and part of it is I think it starts with who you're playing with. Because I'll tell you, some of the best rounds I've ever played with, you're in there and you're like,
Have been with Billy.
what hole are we on?
Oh, yeah.
Like you just
absolutely.
check out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's driving range time.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost the same. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, like, I don't know if my advice is going to be helpful for anybody, but, you know, like, that's my process. If you want to know my process is that I don't spend a lot of time analyzing things. I don't even know what my pre-shot routine is. All I know is I've got to get this
Probably
golf
because you don't
ball.
have a pre-shot.
I don't really have
You
one.
just get to the ball
All
and
I,
you hit it.
all I know is I've got to get this ball in the cup, and it's going to curve more than likely. And I see the curve, and I go, okay, it's kind of downhill, and I hit the putt. That's really it. It's
Sure.
not.
And that's all it should be, right?
Yeah, that's it.
John
we're
wrote
humans.
a book.
Yeah.
If John wrote a book, it would have a cover, a page, and a back
That's
cover.
Mitch's book.
It would
Yeah,
be
that is
strange.
Mitch's book on putting
Hints
is
on the green.
Don't Practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was chapter 1.
Yeah. John's is chapter 1 is just play golf.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a
Yeah.
40-foot string in it.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, go use
It
this.
says on for
Use
birdie, off
the
with bogey.
But if you got a
Yeah.
41-foot putt, you're screwed.
You're out of luck. Yeah. But I
Yeah.
will say, like, that was eye-opening when I actually thought, I'll go out there in, like, January when nobody's at the course, and I'll take string, and I'll put it out on the green. It was weird when you actually, like, put a line and then hit your putt. You kind of go, wow, that was way off.
Yeah.
And it teaches you really how to read greens.
Yeah, I think
Better than I thought it
That's
would.
what I took away from that is you would start to understand the brain of how what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And you start, okay, that's 2 inches, that's 3 inches,
Yeah.
that's 4 inches.
It helps
Yeah.
a lot. I don't know. It feels like I've gotten better at 5-foot to 3-foot putts.
You have.
Yeah.
And that's where I gained a lot of ground was seeing the string and like just being able to put it on the string.
That's
So,
cool.
Yeah.
That's real cool.
So mine's more ethereal, I think. It's just kind of
Yeah.
That's a big word.
Yeah.
It was
Ethereal.
really
Fancy.
big word.
I looked
Yeah.
it up.
Bifurcated and ethereal.
Yeah.
The guy wearing the Norm Macdonald shirt's throwing out big words.
Yeah.
moth joke.
Gosh, yeah. Look
Yeah.
up moth joke.
Right. For me, I always trust my stroke. It's just I have to see the ball go in to gain that extra confidence.
Yeah.
And I'll go back to that several episodes ago where we talked about the day I threw that quad on hole number 6, and I just was so mad for the
Throwing
rest
more
of the
pegs
round.
in the ground.
Right. And then all of a sudden, I make a putt, and
You still came back and won
I'm
the
game
match.
on.
Yeah, I'm 3 under over the last 5 holes of the round. It's the confidence comes from seeing that one putt go in, because I
Yeah.
can tell myself over and over again, that was a good putt.
Yeah.
You hit it right where you wanted to hit it.
Yeah.
And the feedback that you get, like
Positive
and Pete-
reinforcement.
Yeah, Pete and John will tell you, I am the master of leaving my second putt directly right behind the cup
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
every single time.
Like 4 inches.
Right. so
How does
you know,
it do that?
Right. It's fascinating, and that to me tells me I'm close. Just eventually something's going to go in.
Yeah.
And then once it does, look out.
That's the thing. You can't be too hard on yourself.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying that to Dave. I'm saying to anybody listening is you got to take the positive. So
Yeah.
if you did hit a putt where you wanted it to go, where you visualized it going, probably visualize it going in the hole, but you aimed to this point and you hit that point.
If you
It's a good putt.
If you hit a good putt that doesn't go in, treat it like a putt that went in.
Yes.
Oh, I
Like,
love
be
that.
happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been times where you walk off, you're like, all right, I doubled that, but I hit
it right where
I
I
hit
wanted.
one
the
putted.
exact putt I
from
wanted.
45 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
You
be mad
can't
at that.
be disappointed with
Now, if you
that.
completely misread the putt, kick yourself a little bit and do better next time.
Yeah, that's the things. Be
Right.
critical of the things you can control. But if you're able to hit a great putt and do what you visualize doing,
Yeah.
you should be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So John alluded to something, adjusting to the speed of a green.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls the string a little tighter or loosens it a little bit, depending on the needs. How do you guys mid-round adjust to the speed?
You know, I don't. I just leave everything short.
I don't think. I think it's hard, but you're keeping it. It's a constant adjustment because you're not putting on a flat surface every time.
Yeah.
So I think
It's
you're just
uphill,
adjusting and
downhill.
feeling what the speed is going to be. Again, I feel like I'm just a broken record, but you're going to adjust and you're going to just trust it and hit
Yeah.
it. You
And
know,
I played a
Unless
course.
you're Pete.
unless you're Pete, then
I'm
you
not-
never
yeah,
adjust.
Yeah, you just never adjust. I've only played 2 courses that had POA greens where they were noticeably slower when you were finished as opposed to
Oh
when you
yeah,
started.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was weird because you would have an uphill putt. Like I bet they went from like a 9 to an 8.5, and beautiful surfaces, but they just did get fuzzy. That was tough. I mean, that was unbelievably difficult. But luckily here we don't run into that frequently.
Yeah, I think the main thing we run into here at Sycamore is we've been playing golf early, so the greens are wet,
And
and
dewy.
then,
Right.
and then
Yep.
they dry out
That-
as the day goes on.
And I mean, it's also the back nine's faster here. I mean,
Sure.
Well, it's up in the
just
wind.
is.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
It's out in the open.
And that has been it was a struggle trying to get out early in the morning, play, and then you're like, oh,
Yeah.
5 feet short.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I'm being told we're running very long on this one.
No, we're not.
We're at an hour.
Yeah,
But
that's
so I mean, we kind of talked about this a little bit. You know, you just missed a putt, like a 3-footer specifically.
Yeah.
You know, what are you telling yourself as you're walking off that green?
do better.
I'll be honest, it falls right out of my head.
Yeah.
It does.
That I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just kind of go, crap.
Yeah.
And then I walk to the cart and then the next hole.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't
Yeah.
have to, I don't hang on to
John
it.
does that. I hang on to it.
Yeah.
I'll come on, like,
Yeah.
come on, Billy.
You'll be in the next fairway going,
Yeah.
man, that putt was boogers.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's happened?
Maybe hit
yeah.
yourself with a putter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, on my
Hard.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the loudest smack I've heard.
I didn't know what it was. I was like,
You
is that a
flogged
car wreck?
yourself?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
on 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hit a bad putt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He paid dearly for it.
Yeah.
Probably not as dearly as I paid when I
No.
missed a putt.
No.
No,
I didn't
remember
take a
that,
chunk
Pete?
out of myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never mangled myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for anybody asking, I missed a 3-foot birdie putt,
On
and
3?
yeah, it was on hole number 3. It was 12 at the time. Is that right?
You missed a 3-foot birdie putt?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
All right.
so, with your putter, you scoop it up in the air, and the ball goes up in the air, and you catch the ball, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
I had the genius, angry idea of flipping it up in the air and trying to hit it. And instead, I hit my shin. It had been calcified from being hit by a softball pitching, so I didn't really feel it. And I looked down and go, that's not good. I
Yikes.
said, Pete, will you get me my towel? And he goes, which one? I said, the red one. And I finished out the round.
Yeah. You bled.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Blood for
I wouldn't
several
recommend
holes.
it. Wouldn't
Don't do
recommend
that.
it. Yeah.
Don't do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No bueno.
I mean, back to the question. I'm a lot like John. Like, I can forget about. There are times I think when either you're playing really well and you're trying to like post a number, or maybe you're in a competition. But I truly try to leave every shot, seconds after I hit it,
Yeah.
and not think about
Out of the brain it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you two
Gotta
are
do
some
that.
of the best that I've seen do that, because that's just the way you live life.
Well, when you
right?
hit a lot of bad shots, you have to do that.
What you're saying is your memory bank is full, and
recycling
there's
bin
nothing
is-
else left to be
Yeah.
able
Right.
to fit.
But no, yeah, I mean, I just forget about it, go on, and maybe it works.
Yeah, because like the perfect meme was that picture I sent explaining the difference between me and Pete. It had 2 gas tanks, one with a quarter tank down,
Oh, yeah.
one on E.
Yeah.
And it said there's 2 types of people in life. One that says it's time to fill up with all the way down at E, and one that has it at quarter tank down. I'm the quarter tank down. Pete's the one.
But he never runs out of gas.
Never.
Like 2 weeks ago, he never ran
I mean,
out
like
of gas.
last Sunday,
Last
driving
Sunday.
Buttercup home,
Yeah.
might have ran out of gas.
Might have run out of gas.
Are you serious? Last Sunday after the tournament?
Yeah,
You were almost home.
I was.
Didn't you also have to get your fuel pump and your 4Runner replaced because
That
you ran
happened
it at
too.
E too often?
Wow.
Well, that one it died. It said it had 28 miles till empty.
and weren't you going? Wasn't your wife going to give birth to your child, and you needed to get gas before you went to the hospital?
that happened too.
Yes.
Wow.
So, I mean,
This is impressive.
everybody listening, tell
keep your cars
wives that
cars with gas.
You could be
Yes.
married to Pete.
Yeah,
Wow.
Another shout out to the wife.
I'm gonna always check that gas tank before I ride with you.
Yeah.
Be like,
There's
It's
been so many
another
times.
golf story where we're coming
There's
home,
been
and I'm
so
like,
many times I'm like, Pete, you
We're in
want to
like-
stop for gas? He's like, it's fine.
we're in Ottawa, and I'm like,
It's 0 miles.
we should probably we'll be fine. And then I really didn't think we were gonna make it.
I 100% remember this, and I said, if you run out of gas, I am not pushing the car.
Yeah.
And I closed my eyes. I closed my eyes, and I fell asleep, and when we woke up, we were back in Gardner.
Yeah.
I don't know if he stopped for gas or if he actually made
No,
it.
we did not.
But I didn't have to
put
push.
in
For anybody
21 gallons
listening-
in a 20-gallon tank.
For anybody listening outside of Kansas City, we were 30 miles to go with 0 on the
oh
estimated mileage.
my! This was
Yeah.
in the 4Runner.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
and then
impressive.
yeah,
She's
and
got
then-
some wide fuel lines.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
then I ran out of gas going to work, but I didn't say it was empty. Literally was at a quarter tank, and then so I had to have it towed to the dealership. And they're like, "Sir, you know you're completely out of gas." I'm like, "No."
That's amazing.
So your fuel pump needs to be replaced.
That's amazing.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Burned it
Don't
up.
do
Yeah.
so. Don't do that.
don't because they
Yeah.
got to take the gas tank out.
Yeah,
which
to
is
do that,
a
to-
bunch of labor.
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about $1,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out fuel pumps need fuel for lubrication.
That's true.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Oh,
weird.
okay.
Small fact.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I tend to hang on to my putts a little too long, and that's
Yeah.
just something that I've got to work on.
yeah.
I
but
forgot we were talking about
yeah,
putting.
yeah. Oh, I'm just bringing it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's just me. Like I said, that's the different personalities. I can be wound tight a little bit too much, but that's one of the things I've worked on this year more than anything is just trying to let that stuff go. And I think it's helped me.
Well. Yeah, I would see even just scores. All your shots, even when you have a bad shot, with the exception of that blow up hole where you put 3 pegs in the ground. And
yeah, that was different.
But that was different.
The rage was was real there. So all right, well, let me ask one last question. You're in a match play situation.
Why is it? Are you just going to bring it back to us? Is that what you're doing?
Nope, not at all.
When he clobbered you?
I'm bringing it back to the Ryder Cup.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Conceding putts.
Ooh. Do we do it or
How
not?
do you feel about it? Do you have a strategy with that? What is your strategy?
You know, the guy I always golfed with, Werner, he would say on the first tee, no conceded putts. And everybody putted out. And if they gave us a putt, he's like, no, we'll putt it. And I loved it. It was like the level set. But it did work against us twice. Worked for us more than twice.
Yeah. I mean, I'll concede. I don't think there's really a strategy to it. Most of the times I've played a lot of match plays, it's been with a partner. And I've always tried to defer there. I played with my dad a lot in a lot of his tournaments up at his course. And he would always be like, yeah, I'll give them to him early. But then, once that pressure comes on, or if he knows
that's the strategy right there.
One of the other players is not a good putter. Like he doesn't want to give them a look to see one go in. And so he's going to wait until it's like, oh yeah, their knees are going to shake on this one and it's going to take a bit.
I think it depends. Yeah, I'll give putts, and I'll say a couple scenarios there. I think it specifically depends on what you're doing. If you're playing in Tuesday night men's league, concede putts. It's pace of play at that point. It's not about, they're probably going to make the putt.
But in the shrimp.
But in like a very competitive situation, I do agree with John of no conceded putts, but somebody's 4 inches from the hole. There's no reason not to say that's good. I mean, the chances of them missing it, yes, there is probably a chance that they could miss it. It is not very likely.
I mean, do you have a standard length that you're willing
that
to
I'm
concede?
willing to concede? I mean, inside 2 feet, I feel like that's pretty much odd. Now, if it's a slinger of a 2-footer, I'm probably
downhill left or right.
Yeah. I'm sitting there going, that's not an easy putt. So I might not concede that, but flat green, 2 feet. 2-foot putt, I'm going, that's good.
Yeah.
And the hope is that they're going to, if I'm doing that to somebody and they don't return the favor, then I stop. Yeah, I'm going to sit there and watch them putt everything out.
Do you throw a fit on the green and lay your putter down on the ground and say it's inside the leather?
No. I do, because I think that's negative energy and that's not worth it. It's just move on.
If it's not given, I want to make it. Like,
I want to rub it in their face.
And then I want to go to the next tee and be like, all right, so that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Cool.
I might look at my partner if I'm playing in a partner situation, I might just look at them and go, really? Not the person I'm playing against, the person that's in my group, in my foursome,
because
or my 4-ball.
If a putt's not conceded to you as the golfer, you've got the 2-foot putt and it's tough and you make it, you've got the momentum. You've got the momentum now.
Yeah,
so,
it's a dangerous game to play.
Yeah, it is. There's 2 sides to that coin. For sure.
I mean, there's one conceded putt, and it was outside 2 feet that we had. It was at 18, and the match was all square, and it had been a back and forth match. It was against Dagger Guy, and the first time we played him and his partner.
Forget that guy.
He was not making the putt. His partner was. And, I was just like, it doesn't, at this point, like, I don't want to necessarily win because you're going to miss a 3.5 footer. Yeah. And it was not a hard putt. I mean, I felt like, so I picked it up. But, I mean, that's one where I don't know if I'd do that now.
Right.
Well, I know I wouldn't because I'm not playing in any of those matches because my game's a train wreck. But if I get back to playing competitive golf and whatnot, I'd probably,
I think I would handle that guy better now today than I did back whenever that happened.
Yeah. I mean, he did hit the ball backwards on the 4th hole.
He did. Well, you did that.
I've done that, but not
in a competition.
Not in a competition like that.
Yeah, we were in a match. Anyhow, I mean, every time he would make a putt, he'd yell dagger.
Yeah.
Oh.
He had a cigar in one corner of his mouth and yelled dagger out the other side.
Yeah, he's a lovely individual.
I bet his neighbors love him.
Oh my gosh!
Like that
I wanted
guy.
to strangle him.
Yeah,
I did.
He didn't do it as much here, but when we played him there, I'm like, oh,
Where'd you play him at?
Mission Hills.
Oh, okay.
Like, you got to shut up, man.
yeah.
I remember
like you guys are 3 up. Like, I understand it.
Yeah.
Dagger.
I had a greenside bunker shot to send the match into one last hole, and I missed it by 2 inches. Like I almost hold it. And I was gonna come out of that bunker and scream at the top of my lungs, Dagger, MFR, and just run up to the next tee box and just but it didn't go in.
Didn't happen.
Yeah, I was sorely disappointed.
One of these days you'll get that moment.
Yeah.
Probably not. Anyhow, well, that's all I got on putting, you guys. I thought that was a good conversation to have.
Oh, that's
just
a great
because there's so many different.
Now I'm overthinking my putting. Gosh dang it.
Hey, new putter.
New putter.
Once we get it set up to your specs,
35
you're going to be
inches, baby.
unstoppable.
Unstoppable. You guys better watch out.
Right.
John, you
I'm
watch
ready.
out. Dave, you watch out. Pete, you watch out.
I'm ready.
Well, you'll have a week to get it dialed in before you see me.
You've given me the insight. I'm moving your putter head cover.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm calling Bobby
Yeah.
tonight. To be like, the next time you're out there, just take it.
Like, I'm going to bring 3 or 4 different ones out and just switch them out.
That's why I'm always looking for it.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, well, where did I put it this
You
time?
are always looking for
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Where I
Well,
put it
that
this
answers
time.
that question.
Yeah. Clearly, I didn't find my rhythm the other day.
It's strategic. Strategic confusion.
All right. Well, as always, if you like this podcast, be sure to subscribe. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Go out there and find us. There's tons of reviews out there. The Putt Out, Pressure Putt Trainer, Matt,
Well
and
done.
Matt, and then the Perfect Putting Mat. Oh, Perfect Practice Putting Mat.
More alliteration.
Gosh, it's impossible. And then coming, well, it'll probably be out by the time you listen to this, is
The Holmore.
The Holmore, yeah, that's right.
No alliteration.
No alliteration there. The
straightforward.
Holmore. Just got to hit it hard.
And not too hard because it's
Not
fast.
too hard. It's a fast, yeah.
Yes. One soft, one hard.
Ooh. All right. Thanks for listening.